Well, hello, everybody. I've been, for the most part, enjoying my life and growing my other channels. And I drop in from time to time because I'm still subscribed to some content creators. And I watch them and they discuss things or how they feel about something. And something really kind of stayed in my spirit that I observed. Now, first of all, I do not have any sort of authority or clout to be able to assert what someone is doing is not, they should stop doing it, or to tell someone what or what not to do. This is just me on my channel, solely providing my perception and my perspective. And what I noticed, this is regarding Briine, is I noticed a pylon. Now, I know firsthand about a pylon, so I know one when I see one. And I just feel like if something is wrong, then, and the general consensus is that something is wrong, why is it only targeting one person? That's my issue. And I want to say this is regarding Briine. And I didn't see his video or hear his video. I heard about his video regarding Lady Nika's deceased relative. Now, first of all, let me be clear. From what I have heard and seen of Lady Nika, I've never heard her go after someone's deceased family member or friend. So let's get that out of the way. However, Briine, whatever he said or did, I still don't think it's appropriate to do that. But I'm concerned about the pylon. Now, if one person gives their take on it, that should be the end of it because it's their take. But for people to see that as an open door, oh, I get a chance to pile on this person, then I have a problem with that. And let me explain, first of all, what I observed. The only video I first saw was Miss Cruza discussing her displeasure with it. That should have been it. But after that, the floodgates were opened. And the pylon began. And so what I have a problem with is when it was done to other people, there was no outrage expressed. And no remorseful, attitudes. So for the people who were not around at the time, let me educate you on how often this has happened to others in the past and what the lack of response was. And for those of you who were here at the time, let this serve as a reminder as to what occurred in the past, by name, as to who the people who were it was done to. Okay, Jay Dunn's deceased mother. When something happened regarding her deceased mother, no, there was no outrage. In fact, I don't think there was any support that I could see for Jay Dunn. But certainly nothing was directed toward the person who did it. Briine's deceased mother. Again, no outrage at his mother, his deceased mother, being attacked or discussed. Tracy's deceased mother. There was no outrage expressed regarding what was being done to her deceased mother, and no support for her. Sean Bradley's deceased aunt and deceased son. Once again, no outrage expressed, no support. Just, let me hear this. Let's talk about it. Let's do this. 5A's deceased grandmother. QB's deceased husband. Heidi's mother. And I believe, and I hope I stand corrected if I'm wrong, but I believe Rick Reed's grandmother also. And yet, no one called out the people who were doing that to those people and their deceased family member. And I was trying to figure out why, and I waited, see if anybody would ever say that it was a pile-on. No, it didn't happen. But the same people never called anybody out for doing it to others in this sector. And worse than selective outrage, this was the epitome of hypocrisy motivated by self-intimidation and fear. You know why I believe they didn't say anything? Because the person saying it had larger numbers, had a larger voice and a larger presence in this sector. And it doesn't make any sense that, other than fear and intimidation and selective outrage, that nobody ever said anything until Briine. Until him. Now, Briine can read. Oh, yeah, he can read and drag. And maybe a lot of people don't like Briine. But if you're going to call it out for one person, call it out for everybody who did it to other people. Because wrong is always wrong. Inappropriate is always inappropriate, no matter who does it. And by the way, I was raised that it was bad luck to speak ill of the dead. I got that from my grandmother. And at my age, you know how far back that would have to go. And I just cannot believe the silence about the objection to one person being singled out for doing something that's been done to so many other people and their deceased loved one or family member. And no support for that person who it was done to. Because I guess they're bigger, but also they may have not liked the person it was being done to. I don't know the reason. I don't understand it. But I will say this, mind you, that people have a tendency to brown nose with their silence. And that's kind of what I'm seeing it as. But to pick on one person and not address the same issue with so many others, to me, it's not just hypocrisy, it's cowardice. If it's wrong, it is wrong. And have the courage of your convictions when it comes to every single occurrence. And that's my take. That's my perception and my perspective. And you all have a great night. Bye.